You have been brought here for my enjoyment and my appreciation.
Hello and good evening. Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 22, The Most Toys, is over, and it has been since 1990. But here in 2026, we're just getting started, whether you're catching us live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Our mission to rewatch every episode of TNG continues. One kidnapping, one moral dilemma, and one android pushed to his ethical limits at a time. And this is your captain speaking. I am your host, Dave Mader. And we got a great panel here. Some of them will be coming a little later, or at least one of them is coming a little later. But the other two are here. Actually, the man who was here the earliest, our technologist and cynic in chief. This week, he's questioning Fajo's tech, the Veron T disruptor, the shuttle sabotage, and where the Enterprise should have spotted the kidnapping long before that accident report came in. It's Jody Simpson.
I agree. And the amount of cooperation that the Federation has given him is just there's something wrong here, Dave. We got to get down to it.
Yeah, you think they would know he was a bad egg, but maybe not, guy in the right time, right place. We're going to talk all about it. Here's the man I know is a huge fan of this episode. And tonight he's tracking power dynamics, Data versus Fajo, autonomy versus ownership, and the chilling question of what happens when someone decides a sentient being is just another collectible. It's Adam Woodward.
Hey guys, I learned some really cool stuff when looking up some fun facts for tonight, so I've got some good ones.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. We are also expected to be joined by Heather Narduzzi, but she is at the Canadian Briar in Newfoundland and Labrador, and watching Newfoundland and Labrador fight Newfoundland and Labrador, if you didn't know that. How does that happen? You got to watch curling to find out. But that is Stargazer fish.
Is that a top secret or a secret top 10 episode?
This is a secret top 10 episode for me. Love it. Well, why is it a secret? Why can't it just be in your normal top 10?
Well, it's not a secret anymore. You put it out there.
Maybe they're ashamed.
Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. This is the 70th episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. We were talking about The Most Toys, that aired back on May 7th, 1990, written by Sherry Goodharts, directed by Tim Bond. Lieutenant Commander Data is kidnapped by an obsessive collector, Kivas Fajo, who's played by Saul Rubinek, who leads the Enterprise crew to believe that Data was destroyed in a shuttle accident. The episode's title is a reference to a popular 1980s quote: "Whoever dies wins the most toys."
No, with the most toys wins.
The most toys wins.
Whoever has the most toys wins.
Whoever dies with the most toys wins.
Okay, and why was this a saying in the 1980s?
It just was.
Because the 80s were all about selling.
And stuff.
Always be closing.
Yeah, like
white
Countoshes in cocaine. It was a great time.
Of course. Yes. Miami Vice, all those great things. Exactly. I was alive for part of it, but
Johnson.
I was young.
All I wanted was a Sony Walkman back in the day.
Yeah. That was the status symbol.
I'd say, what did I want in the 90s or the 80s? Probably just a Power Glove. Once I had the Nintendo.
Oh, it's bad, Dave.
I know. I didn't know that yet. I saw it in The Wizard, and I thought, "Oh, I want that," and then it was disappointing. But that's another tangent. The peak '80s. This was '80s peak purchasing with all the yuppies. Says Mike Elmore. Yeah, the most toys, as we mentioned, guest star Saul Rubinek, great Canadian actor who's been in many different things,
or better known as that guy that everybody knows. That's it.
That guy, he's a character actor. He's been in tons of stuff, like more recently, I guess,
villain of the week or something.
Yeah, usually a villain.
Favorite role with him was from True Romance, where he played Lee Donowitz, the producer.
Lee Donowitz, who wanted a suitcase of cocaine from Christian Slater.
Number one, if Christian Slater is going to show up with a suitcase of cocaine, it would be rude to say no. Like,
it would be rude,
on, guys.
I love his character in True Romance as well, but he's also in, like, I don't know, he was more recently in The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, or I don't know, he was in the Nixon movie. He's been in tons of stuff. He's a
sci-fi show, Warehouse 13, as Mike points out.
Yes, and then he was born in Germany, but then grew up in Ottawa. Actually, Adam, where you hail from now?
There wasn't actually a time, well, and I'll talk more about this later, but he was not the first Kivas Fajo.
No,
and we'll talk about that. Let's just save that, okay?
And like, was he? Like, True Romance is 3 years after this. Like, yes. How famous was he as an actor at this point?
I can tell you. I mean, actually, it was regarding a role that he had in Bonfire of the Vanities with Tom Hanks and who was that? Meg Ryan or Julia Roberts or something. Anyway, one of those movies that he got this role. That
was the same year as this movie, or as this episode, rather. The Bonfires of the Vanities. Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith, Morgan. Good cast. But before that, he's kind of more of a character actor, basically. Yeah,
I don't think he's ever not been a character actor. Right?
No,
well, I guess that's true.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, aren't all actors character actors in some ways?
Maybe they are.
I think the line is all actors can be characters, but not all character actors can be actors, or something. I can't remember the exact quote. But
we also have Jane Daly as a guest star in this episode, playing what's her character's name?
Varia.
Varia. She dies in this episode.
Varia.
But she's quite good actually too.
With some questionable technology.
Yeah, maybe it was not prolific as Saul Rubinek, but she's quite good in it too. And what else to say? There's Data. Did he try to kill somebody in this episode?
I would not participate in a murder.
Well, there you go. You wouldn't do it. So nothing to worry about here. But does Data get pushed to its limits? I know Adam's a big fan of this episode. Jody, I believe you are too. But what are your thoughts?
Rewatching this again, there was a bit of rose-tinted glasses, but overall, I think it's still a solid episode. It's a fun episode. It's a nice episode to kind of give us a little bit more of a look into Data, which as of the third season, we've already got to know a lot about this character, but it's more interesting to see how he can be defiant and stuff as well. Passive aggressive, I guess. So it's interesting to see that dynamic, but I think overall the episode itself is good. I don't think it's a terrible episode by any stretch.
Yeah, Saul Rubinek always plays to the son of a bitch so well. He plays the villain. Yeah. Adam, how high up on the rankings is this for you? Like, as a teenager?
Not as high as I thought it would be. And
same here.
Once we get into it, and I'll tell you why. But there was one big something that didn't sit well with me right off the bat, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Okay, all the stuff with Saul Rubinek and Brent Spiner, I think is really strong. I think a lot of this, I think it's the B plot on the Enterprise that I find a little lacking. That could be
exactly better. If you can say what was the B plot, obviously it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it could be stronger. It's the weaker part of the episode. Jody and Wesley largely are left like trying to figure out what happened.
That's like A minor. for
Yeah.
me, because it's still the same
Well,
storyline.
it's their perspective, so it's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
Right, them going to his quarters, and then there's that part where Picard reads that Shakespeare quote that we'll never see his like again, and there's them dealing with him being sad. Like what if Data actually did die? How would the crew move on? The answer is, I guess, Worf becomes the new ops officer, and some nobody becomes the new tactical officer. But that gets undone by the end of this. What else? Yeah, I think, and I guess the other part of this that I think really sticks out is that Veron T disruptor.
That we
Something
never
that-
hear about again.
We never hear about them again.
Oh, because he has them all. He had all 4 of them.
Four of the 5. There's one more somewhere out
That's
there.
right.
It's probably that other guy, that other collector guy who has it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I guess just the idea of it being a really vicious, painful weapon that exists, in the Star Trek universe.
And you got to say, Varia, she did a good job acting that out, like how that tore her apart. It seemed long. It seemed like a long death.
It did. It seemed very, very bad. And he didn't really need to do it, but she, I don't know. Well, let's break it down. So let's get into the episode. Heather will be joining us. And we start here with the captain's log, who says that the Enterprise is trying to assist a Federation colony called Beta Agni 2. They have contaminated water supply, so they need to, buy this substance, a rare compound from Kivas Fajo, the trader that Saul Rubinek plays, to neutralize the contamination. We're going to find out later on that the contamination on that Federation colony was deliberately created by Kivas Fajo so that he could sell them the cure, basically. We made the disease and selling the cure, but they don't know that. And it's also that the substance can only be transported by Data, because I guess I don't even really understand why Data has to be the one. Because
I think it has something to do with radiation or something like that. Like,
okay, but these other people aren't affected by the radiation.
Well, that's a good point.
That was the only thing, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't explain it at all.
Whatever. Data's the only one who can fly
He's
the
got to
shuttle.
do it.
He's
Has to be him.
Yeah, and
He's the only one that knows how to work the blinkers.
Exactly, and he's going to bring back this, the shuttle of stuff. This is the final shipment, so they say, okay, here he comes, and they put the dry ice or whatever this is into the little slots. Then they ask Data to sign the paperwork, and this is the first lesson he should have taken from this is like, when they hand you the paperwork, make sure you read the fine print. Sometimes it'll electrocute you, and that's what happens here to Data. He gets hit with this charge. I think Mike Elmore says, I think it was about the instability and requires precision piloting.
Could be.
Okay, I think you're right. I think that is the line. Although, okay. Anyway, Data, Mr. Precision, Mr. Procedure can definitely fly.
Can you go back one slide?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the buttons that were on the top of this thing?
I guess it was meant to be like. I guess these are the buttons, but
that circuit board is definitely button contacts. It's like, where are the 10 buttons that are supposed to be up there?
It wouldn't stick in there, so they just gave up and put it on as is.
Yeah, they're like, screw it. It looks cool.
I guess it's meant to be like a thumbprint reader or something, but anyway, Data gets shocked, so he's kind of like knocked unconscious, and then they scan all of his materials, like what he's composed of, so that they're able to put like the exact substances he's composed of into the shuttle, so that when it blows up, they'll find exactly what they would expect to. So they do that very quickly, like he's made up of 10% duranium or whatever, and go.
The way they presented it, though, like, did you not get the feeling that they were going to just like sell them for scrap or something? Like, originally it wasn't about a collector, right? Like, it was just like, oh, this is
you didn't know what they were doing exactly.
Yeah, you didn't know exactly what they were going to do.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know if I remember the first time I actually watched this, so it's hard to recall for me, but yeah, like, it's definitely, you don't know what's happening. On the Enterprise, they expecting Data to fly back. This is, being the third run. While it's dangerous, they're expecting this to go fine. They say everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden, the shuttle blows up.
As shuttles do in this show.
As shuttles sometimes do. often do, mostly do.
Very unsafe travel method is shuttles.
Yeah, but I guess transporters can't be used with the substance. So,
Imagine, yeah.
and they're all kind of stunned. They're like, Data's dead. Worf is like, Data. Where's my
Worf's like, what just happened? I'm the security officer. I don't.
Did I just get promoted? Oh, let's see.
Oh, cool. I get to be number 3 now. Nice.
Yeah. So there's a shocking thing. Data dead? That is our teaser for the episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
But we know he's not. I guess we don't technically. We don't know if they just knocked him out.
No. Yeah.
We don't know if they just knocked him out and then blew him up. But it's. I guess that's the one possibility.
Well, we assume he's going to be processed for his ores and his various minerals.
Right. But the crew thinks he's
Steel
dead
and stuff. Yeah.
So after that, we get Captain's log saying it seems like we've lost Commander Data. And we see that Captain is speaking now to Kivas Fajo, who we meet for the first time here on screen. He's like, "Oh, it's terrible. What happened to your pilot?" And "Oh, he didn't make it. Oh, that's too bad." Rubenek very good in this role, I think, but better than maybe it deserves. But here we got Mike Elmore asking discussion question: What's the number one killer in Star Trek shuttlecraft? Is it shuttlecraft, transporters, or holodecks?
That's a good question.
I would say holodecks. They definitely get more in trouble with holodecks, but I feel like they crash more often on shuttles, but they usually survive, or at least some people survive.
And transporter things we've had some trouble with.
We've had some deaths, but not that many deaths in the transporter.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, they're notable, they're memorable, but they don't tend to. Yeah. I don't think there's been that many.
Sam says he's got to take off, so his rating is 8.
All right, thanks, Sam. All as well. Anyway, so Kivas Fajo, he's ready. He's like, he doesn't have any more of this stuff to sell them. He doesn't even know if he wants to keep it anymore. So he's taking off. Bye. Sorry about your guy. We'll see it. See you never.
Mike, I just turned to one of my best friends to check out that question, and apparently it's transporters.
What is that like?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
That's the fact. Like transporters kills the most.
Yeah. Fatal pattern losses, people that never rematerialize, pattern corruption resulting in death of an irreversible transformation, duplicates like Thomas Riker. I don't really see that.
Tom Riker.
That's not so much a bad thing.
Yeah.
You just get more of you.
Merging of individuals, Tuvix.
Mm-hmm. And the demerging.
Yep, and molecular scattering from the enemy within.
If you think about it, Tuvix was killed with a transporter.
Yep.
So okay, transporters, don't take them. Got it.
Transporters, bad idea.
Bones would agree.
Bones, take a shuttle. Pulaski too.
Yeah,
so anyway,
true.
The Enterprise goes on its way, and Kivas Fajo's trader ship is left to go on its own way. I don't know. Does Rubenek's ring get a guest starring role?
It should.
Yeah,
it should have an executive producer credit too.
Yeah, it's a good ring.
I like when they do this shot of Picard talking to the view screen when the heads are so big. Remember they did that with Ferengis in that early episode?
I loved when they did that. Well, they did that for the first appearance of the Ferengi too.
Yes.
Which was kind of cool. Oh, I believe somebody has just arrived.
Well, let's introduce her. Coming in next here, everyone. Jody, if you will add her, please.
I shall.
Stylish and sharp and tuned into the emotional core. She's watching the unsettling dynamic between Data and Fajo, the manipulation, the power imbalance, and the quiet moments when Data's calm becomes its own kind of resistance. Here she is, our goddess of empathy, Heather Narduzzi.
Hello, everybody. Coming to you live from the car outside the Mary Brown Center in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador at the Montana's Briar. We just finished up the game and we're heading home. That's why I'm late to the pod, but I had to come on tonight because this is one of my all-time favorite episodes. What have I missed in the discussion so far?
Not a ton.
They have internet in Newfoundland? Just
kidding. Oh, it's pronounced Newfoundland, Adam.
Yes, they have it in Labrador too. Just
that is correct. Yes, it's brought in by sled dogs, imported.
I wonder.
Right. Well, Welcome, Heather. We just got through like the teaser of the episode, and we're discussing Saul Rubinek in his Ring getting a guest starring role and those kinds of things. And that we weren't too deep into the screenshots yet.
Wonderful. Okay, so Saul Rubinek is terrific in this episode. Okay, he is a truly menacing villain, which Star Trek sometimes tries for and doesn't quite achieve. But Rubinek, you genuinely feel the menace with him, I think.
Yes, I agree. I think he's one of the better villains of all of TNG.
And you're not even sure at the beginning he is a villain. It's just like, he is once you get seen that. But even then you're like, is he really that bad?
I guess because he's so irredeemable, right? Like, he has a soft way of talking to, sometimes, but then like other times he turns
to be clear, for legal reasons, you are not driving, correct, Heather?
I am not driving this car. My bonus dad, Jerry, is driving the car, and who is a lifelong Star Trek fan and who's one of my favorite people to talk about Star Trek with. I would show him on the camera, but I think he'd knock the phone out of my hand.
All right, well, let's not do that, but we appreciate Jerry and his driving contributions.
He also loves this episode.
This is a great one. If you're good, we can jump back into where we were on the screenshot.
Yeah, let's get going. Wonderful.
Which was kind of just when Picard and Fajo are talking here on the view screen, and when they're, they get sort of, he says, okay, well,
how this is a great perspective that they show once in a while.
I was just going to say the same thing, Jody. That's so cool. And they don't super often show it from this perspective, like Picard and then the whole big view screen. So I really appreciate it in this episode.
Yeah, it's good.
And his costume, his little hat, his little curl of hair, and the way they have his nose shaped, he looks like a little Who from Whoville, but murderous.
Yes, he's a homicidal Who.
See, I always thought all
you don't know that
from
yet.
Whoville
You don't know
were
he's
murderous.
murderous. He seems very cooperative at this point.
No, he seems very cooperative. He doesn't seem like a bad guy yet. It just seems like a random alien. The Zybalians, I think he's called. This species is called
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, his ship's kind of unremarkable, but anyway, it goes on its way, and now they, now we come inside of Kivas Fajo's ship, the freighter. Data's still sort of unconscious, if you will, from when he was shocked earlier. He wakes up on this like round red carpet chair thing, couch.
So I appreciate this, but his legs would actually be up because he was sitting when they shocked him and he froze.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what's going on here.
He's
then
like
comes.
a G.I. Joe doll. He's posable. He's articulated. They just bent his knees
So you
over
think
the
they
bottom.
posed him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That's good. Theory.
So he comes around here. He doesn't know where he is or why he's here. He's a little confused. But then Kivas Fajo and his companion here, Varia, enter. And he's so amazed. Data knows something is off right away. And he's like, but Kivas Fajo,
he's a walking computer.
Yeah, he's so impressed with his new. He's so smitten with his new toy, if you will.
Look at that pose.
The way he like his physical
flagrant. Yeah, his flagrant moving.
The way he moves around the set, and he's like a little elf sometimes, and like
he moves around like he's like doing jazz or something. Like it's
I can hear
weird.
The way he delivers. It took great effort. I hear that in my head so often. Just like it's such a weird choice for a delivery, but it fits the character so well.
Oh yeah, like I took great effort to get you here and everything else, and the way he refers to Data, he's like, now you're not in Starfleet.
And
now.
I love how he's got this kind of like Caesar eating the grapes thing going on. Like, it's it's great.
Very very hedonism bot sitting on his couch.
Yes, from Futurama, same one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Data tries to open the door but can't. He's confined here because he's like, well, I'm trying to escape.
Well, there's no door handle.
The door can only be opened by the crew members, Kivas himself. So then Data tries to grab him and use him to open the door, but he has like this force field around him that prevents Data from getting anywhere close to him. That's a little handy tool. And then he turns his back to Data, and Data tries to leap at him, but that just goes really bad for Data. It's thrown across the room here.
That's a good screen pat, Dave.
Yeah. This is, and then he goes.
He doesn't even flinch either, which is great.
Let's hear. And Data's like, whoa. Yeah, we find this device on his belt is the source of that power. I want one of those devices. That'd be handy.
Who would you make sure you got was kept away from you, Dave?
I guess it would keep everyone. I don't know if it's distinguishing, but no one can get the jump on you.
True.
So then he's like, well, you're stuck here. Then he shows Data around his collection. This whatever the hell this was meant to be. The first something or other ever made. Broken satellite dish, like butcher's tools welded together, I guess.
Or they're going to use it later in that episode where like everybody gets abducted by aliens.
Oh yeah, Schisms is going to be one of the weird tools.
Yeah, it looks like it's the Schisms tool, but and then there's like this vase made by some artist that was very rare and unique. There's who's this baseball card? Is a baseball
Roger Maris from 1962.
Roger Maris with the bubblegum smell, preserved. I always thought that was an interesting thing.
And that just the way he delivers, like, I preserved the scent. Like he's so delighted. It's creepy.
Bubblegum.
He's like a kid collecting, right? Like that's
but he also like when he was going through his collection, and there's a Dali on the wall there. Didn't even really spend any time on it.
Oh yeah, he's like, I got some painting, whatever, right? Maybe the more valuable thing here. It's the only time I can remember Data reacting to scent specifically in like in any one episode. Like, but he clearly notices.
Perhaps that was the first time he had smelled bubblegum.
I suppose, but it's the first time I can remember him smelling anything. But we know he can taste things, so I guess there's possible he smells things. Anyway, so then there's some like endangered / extinct animal here, which a puppet, hand puppet in the tank.
It's a gorn.
This puppet is worse than the dog in the wig. This is a terrible puppet.
Yes,
it's the gorn.
It's a baby gorn.
I do like the little song he sings to it. Loo 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 loo.
Yeah, why not? It's more alien than that dog they glued a horn on to an original series, so I'll take it.
No, Heather said better.
I love that dog in the wig and horn.
I besmirch that alien.
That's the Howie or something, isn't it?
Yes. Anyway, then we find Data. He has his place amongst this collection. He's meant to sit on this chair for the rest of, I guess, for Fajo's life at least. But
Data's fully functional.
Anyway, but Data doesn't want to sit in the chair. Data says no. But then Kivas gets called away here by these Andorian traders.
And that was a fantastic reaction. He gets so angry.
Yeah, he's like, they want to talk about this trade negotiation. He said they've had 4 days to negotiate, and now they want to do it now. But he's back to business. He's got to go.
Like, I'm busy playing with my new toy.
But fine.
As Adam said, it's a great reaction. He just flashes this furious anger, and then he like shuts it right off.
Right. Which I think is another thing about his, like, I guess makes him more menacing to me in some ways, right? Because you see like this under the surface thing with him all the time, like this. Anyway, so Data is stuck here for now, and that's the way it is. So Data sits here amongst the collection. Data should have just smashed all his stuff. Maybe not the animal, but like everything else. As a form of rebellion. Back on the Enterprise, they're dealing with what they think is the death of Data. We got Jody and Wesley here in Data's quarters, looking at his paintings.
Okay.
And
can we stop now? This is my problem. In the rewatch, I was like, for being Data, the only android in Starfleet, in actually the universe, Picard just sort of just tossed it off. Okay, we're back to business. We got to go deliver this remedy. It was so quick. no investigation. It seems so unlike Picard to do more
Yeah, but he's
more
on a
digging.
time. He's on a timetable, and if he doesn't get this antidote to the
Understood, but
blaze,
he's still like
all
it
these
didn't
people are
feel
gonna
with
die.
grief. Like when Tasha died, you had a real grief amongst the crew.
Not until they dealt with saving Troy and all that, right?
Yeah, they still had to save Troy and all that.
So I feel like it would have come later on here, but it seems like Jody gets put on the Jody and Wesley are put on the task of I guess.
It seems a little early. I'll give you that. Like,
but they have this 6-hour trip to wherever they're going, I guess, too, right? So
I just
did they need the quarters for something, or?
I guess Jordy got tasked with going through his stuff, basically. You guys see his violins there. There's a book of Shakespearean plays and scenes that Picard had previously given to him.
They have the 3D Tasha as well, I believe.
Yeah, they got the poker chips and the playing cards, which should go to Riker, they say, because he always fell for Riker's bluffs. We got the medals that Data's received, which are some of the highest honors in Starfleet. So I don't think we saw. Did we see those?
Measure of Man.
Measure of Man, right? That's a callback to Measure of Man, right?
Yeah.
So he got all those
Yes,
before he was
yeah.
even on the Enterprise. But and then
I think Denise Richards got for this.
I don't know. Denise Richards or
not
Denise Crosby?
Crosby.
Crosby.
Completely different
Denise
actor.
Richards would have been amazing in that role.
No,
She would have been.
Oh God, no.
I like Denise Richards, but
Yeah.
Me too.
Watch the Bond movie with her in it, and then tell me if you like.
well, that's a bad movie. That's not her fault. But
that is completely her fault.
Christmas. What's her name? Christmas something.
I thought Christmas
Jones.
once a year. Just for that line, it was good. Come on.
That's the best line in that movie.
So anyway, but different Denise. Let's not get our wires
Yes,
crossed.
I'm sorry. I mixed up my Denises.
Yeah, but Geordi is struggling with this. Like, what the hell happened to Data? He's been through the accident so many times. He feels like he's missing something. There's something that he's not letting go. So we're hoping that Geordi will be the one to solve this mystery, and figure out that Data's not dead. Anyway, back with Kivas Fajo. Data's looking around the collection room here. When Varia comes in, and it seems like he's gonna try to run at Varia and maybe use her to open the door, but then when she gets in there, he kind of gives up on that. And because she does she have the protector field? I guess she does, right?
He
She's
does.
got
You
one of
see it
those
on the
things on
belt.
her waist.
Yeah,
see it on the
I
belt.
noticed it on her belt.
But later on, when there's two other guys he throws around, they presumably don't have them, right? So
I would
so
assume, yeah.
No, they're underlings. They don't get a protection device.
Yes.
Not that cool.
Those things cost
Anyway.
a lot of money, Dave. You can't just be issuing them to everybody.
All right, I get you. Anyway, so Varia's here to deliver Data's new clothes that Fajo wants him to wear. And I don't know, Data also tries to talk to her about why do you work with him and why, what's your morality and all these things. And she, we get some of a little bit of her backstory that she's been with him for many years and that he can punish you if you don't cooperate with him, and he can be quite dangerous. But she's learned.
The line she delivers is that his punishments are equally lavish. And I always found that line to be really chilling because it lets you imagine what the lavish punishments are.
Well, I just like the fact that she's rubbing her face when she says it.
Yeah.
Too. It really does. It gives you, the domestic violence kind of vibe, and
you don't need to see more.
No,
right away.
exactly. This woman is being put through shit, and hopefully something can happen.
Right. Anyway, so she's like, can't fight City Hall. Don't worry about it. You do what he wants or you're going to regret it. It's sort of her advice, if you will, but Data also says it seems like he owns you too, just like he claims to own me. And that does seem to get through to her a bit.
How do you feel about this tracksuit, Dave?
It's fine. The belt really makes it.
Terribly ugly.
So
I really like the sconces too. The lighting and the sconces on the wall.
yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
Those are nice. Yeah.
I have a fun fact about those later.
Oh.
Oh,
I didn't
good.
recall the sconces, but now I know that I've learned a new word. So, anyway, So then back on the Enterprise, Jordy's here to, say to Riker and Picard, like, something's not right here. Like, Data always follows procedures. How, the only way this could...
is the conversation, Dave. It just, these guys are just like, nope, he's dead. Move on. We got to move on. Like,
move on. He's dead. And Jordy goes, the only explanation is pilot error, which makes no sense. Picard's like, well, we all make mistakes. How do you know? It wasn't a mistake. And Jordy's like, come on. Like, me and Adam, we know. And why won't you listen? But, Picard actually gets upset with LaForge. And he's like, you need to go to bed because we have a mission in the morning and it's a school night. And we can't be having this. So, he's like, you better go to sleep or I'm not going to be a happy captain. But he's like, I get it. I miss him too. And, you have my full support if you want to do this investigation. But we have a mission to get through first. So go to bed, Jordy, and turn off the lights, is what he said. And anyway, then Riker has a good line here about how for an android with no emotions, he sure made us care a lot about him.
I really didn't feel like they were caring too much.
They didn't seem like they were caring.
And then
I'm with Adam on that one.
Picard goes through the, he was a man. He reads the Shakespearean. He just opens, I guess, whatever page in Hamlet that Data had most recently been looking at, perhaps. And
he was a man taken for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
Hamlet,
but maybe you will.
Act one,
Maybe you'll see him by the end of the episode. Act 1, C2. But, the good little, I guess, tribute, that Picard is given here to Data, thinking that he's passed. Back on Kivas Fajo's ship, Data's feeding the puppet some birdseed.
It's a Gorn.
It's a Gorn.
I love this so much. The like flat effect that he has, and because he's trying to be nice to the pet, and he's like Lou 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 Lou. Cracks me up every time.
It's funny. Then Kivas Fajo shows up, and then he's pissed off that Data's not changed his clothes yet. Wants him to wear his little one. He's like, "You're not in Starfleet anymore. You're now."
I found out where Captain Aki got her inspiration for sitting.
Kivas Fajo. Yeah,
it's Kivas Fajo. Like he is totally representing her here, or she him.
Right. Well, there's this whole part here where Kivas Fajo, he talks about his childhood. He's like, I'm a product of my thing.
Perhaps you would not judge me so harshly if you knew of my desperate youth. Wasted on the streets of Zimbalia.
Your past does not excuse unethical or immoral behavior, sir.
No, it doesn't matter. Isn't true anyway. My father was quite wealthy, actually. He was a thief.
And I think that also demonstrates like how unhinged he is, because when he's saying the first part, he's crying.
He's actually crying. He's actually like
crawl down his face, and then he's like, "No, I'm just joking. My father is a thief." It's cool.
Psych.
Yikes, dude.
Gotcha. He's like, put on the onesie or whatever, and but like, I guess just to establish that this guy's not just a collector; he is a psychopath, right? Like he is a. And
so another thing here, though, that choice of outfit, like it's not much different than Varia's and the other henchmen. Like,
right?
They are just playthings to him as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, presumably, maybe he picks their clothes. Maybe this is, maybe Varia as well, and those other guys. But Data doesn't want to put it on, so we see Fajo goes to the replicator and gets what it seems like a drink at first. He asks for so much of the substance, but then he throws it at
a dankerful.
Yeah, and throws it onto Data, which burns off his uniform. Which Data's saying, "What the hell, bro? That's not cool." But he's like, well, now you're going to be naked, and maybe I want you to be naked. It won't burn his.
This was a big conversation back in 1990 because you could walk around naked for all I care, or I'd be happy or whatever he said there. But it was shocking, I guess, at the time because another man wouldn't mind another man running around naked. It was a thing.
I hadn't even occurred to me. But
it wouldn't in 2025.
I read it as he doesn't see Data as worthy of any dignity, modesty, self-agency, or anything like that. But I do like that reading. That never occurred to me. But
listen, I was in
that was
first year
shocking for that
university.
time.
I was in first year university in this sociology class or something, I can't remember. And everybody watched Star Trek, and we talked about it in the next class, and that came up as a big topic that a guy had said he wouldn't mind seeing another guy walking around naked.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was very racy at that time.
Well, I mean, yes, I guess it was.
Right. Well, I guess to make Fajo even more shocking to that audience in 1990, I guess, you know. But he doesn't care. Anyway, he's going to burn off Data's uniform. He's going to be naked before he knows it. So he's like, you can be naked or you can wear the clothes, whatever the hell. I don't care. But I'll be back later, and you get to meet my important friend. So we'll come back to that. Meanwhile, back on the Enterprise, Jordy's having a
horrible scene.
Yeah, it's not great. We got Jody in bed, still in his uniform. I guess trying to get a little bit of sleep before the mission in the morning at the colony. But it's like all like it's all like the I guess Jody's memories and these voiceovers of what he's dreaming. Not done all the time. It's sometimes done. It was kind of like when Troy had the music in her head or whatever. That they do this a little bit sometimes, but. Yeah, it's not the best scene in the episode, I would say. No. But basically, Jody wakes up from a nightmare going, Data! I know, I missed something. There's something that we haven't considered. Like, it's an epiphany of sorts. I got to get to, telling them off, right? Meanwhile, we got Worf heading to his first shift, now filling in for Data at Ops, and Troy, I guess, was strategically waiting for him to pass so that she could corner him here.
She ambushed him to talk about feelings.
She did, and he knew it. The other thing that I think is cool about this scene is that they it seems to be one shot where they like go into the turbolift, and then it changes directions a few times during this conversation, and then it opens up on the bridge. So it seems like it's a practical effect that they did where they somehow moved the set around or they moved the turbolift thing around or something. I don't know if that's going to come up in fun facts, but I think the conversation is also very interesting because Troy's saying like, this is the second time you've had to replace a dead crewmate, the first being Tasha Yar at Tactical. And now he's being asked to become the new ops officer for Data, who they believe is dead.
And Worf, you think so? Like, thanks for bringing that up again.
Thanks. I wasn't thinking about my other dead friends. I'm really glad you brought it up.
Right.
Canna Troy is actually an anti-counselor. What she does is she brings up all the stuff that traumatizes you to make sure you stay traumatized. It's how in business.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
On Thursday,
And Worf's like, on a Klingon ship, we do this all the time. It's cool. But he's never served on a Klingon ship. Anyway, they head up at the bridge, and he's like, cool. And I don't know. She seems so satisfied with herself by the end of the conversation. But
that's exactly what happened.
The turbolift, I believe, is turned around from one side to the. Yeah, I think they seem to enter it on one side of the stage, and then they flip it around and they open it up here on the bridge. It's a nice transition.
Very cool fact, yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Then we have the scene in engineering. It's Jody and Wesley listening to recordings of the first two flights that Data took from Fajo's ship to the Enterprise, and then the final third one. And in
Can
the
you
first
go back one slide? Does anyone notice anything about this shot? There are 4 lights.
There are 4 lights. Yes. Good
Oh
call.
my God,
Good call.
I always thought there was 5.
Well, the Warp Core is the 5th light. Anyway, so they're basically that the first 2 times Data did it, he said, I have now departed. I have now left the bay, right? But the third time he doesn't. And Geordi says that doesn't make sense, even though like a human pilot might not have done it because he knows he's being monitored, but Data would have done it.
Data's so boring, he would do it the exact same way every time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so they but what, like, how could this get by us? How could we be fooled by this Kivas Fajo? It would make no sense. Anyway, back with Kivas Fajo, who Data looking at the collection again, looking at the baseball card, the bubble gum. He's changed into the clothes that were left. He would rather wear that than wear nothing. I think he's got those modesty subroutines. And then we got the other trader guy. His name is Toph. He's a different species than Kivas Fajo or Varia, it seems.
You know what this made me think of? These two like stumbling in here like this was the cask of Amontillado. Like Fajo is Montrezor.
That's interesting.
And the other guy is Fortunato. You know, like, I mean, it doesn't turn out the same way, but that's kind of like the vibe I got from, because they're both like merriment, and Fajo really wants to show him this, but it ends up not being real kind of thing, you know? Anyway, that's one of my favorite stories, and I always think of it when at the start of this scene.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, but this is the other collector, and Kivas Fajo wants to impress him, but Data is just staring blankly, pretending to be like basically a mannequin. And Toph's like,
the makeup they did for him, I thought was so interesting, with the 3 nostrils and the metal thing going into one.
And the way that the actor plays with these nostrils throughout the scene, it's kind of a fun thing. He's like, okay.
I bet his sinus colds are a bitch.
Yeah.
And I guess this is meant to be like some kind of a decoration, like a piece of jewelry he's wearing.
Yeah, I mean, like we would wear earrings, and
yeah, it's very
personally
creative.
I just like the flat top.
Yeah,
the flat top's good. Well, I don't think we ever see the
they call
species.
that the gray hammer.
They brought the species back in Lower Decks when they referenced this episode, but I don't know if we ever see them in any other place. Anyway, Data's just plain dead, I guess. I don't know what else you would. So Kivas Fajo's friend is not being impressed by all this, and Kivas Fajo is very annoyed with Data. This is a great shot. I love Aries looking at him with his little magnifying glass. But he's like, I don't find this amusing. I am very upset.
I love when he says it though, because like he's got this just look of disdain in his eyes. It's great.
Oh yeah, he's so very menacing.
He goes from happy to just downright sinister, and then back to happy again.
Right, but then he's like, then he pushes Data over here when he tries to get him to like react. And then the friend
was great. I wonder if Spiner did it or if they had a stunt person do it, but like that just stayed flat as a board and bounced off the settee thing and onto the floor. That looked really cool.
And even Toph says he falls well.
So Dave, settee and sconce, 2 words to you.
Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of vocabulary tonight.
You're welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Heather.
Just something interesting about that guy Toph. His name is Nehemiah Persoff. Mm-hmm. He is a very back in this time. He was in Some Like It Hot actually with Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe.
Really?
And he was the cab driver in the famous scene on the waterfront where I could have been a contender scene with Marlon Brando.
Wow, that's really cool. Very good fun facts.
It says. I just looked him up. It says he was born in Jerusalem, but at the time it was not Israel yet, right? It was Occupied Enemy Territory Administration.
Oh.
Anyway, so Kivas Fajo then says to Data, like, you're gonna pay for your little ruse here, your little game, and then Data finally does react once he leaves the room here before the commercials. Back on the Enterprise, Worf now.
One more interesting thing: that guy was born in 1919 and died in 2022.
So he lived 102 years.
102 years, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Kivas Fajo didn't shoot him with the disruptor then.
Worf at Ops. Worf gets a chair finally, but it will be taken away from him. So don't get too used to the chair, Worf. He's like, I've served at the post before. And then they're getting ready for the mission where they're going to launch the
Riker's straddling the boy.
Yeah, but then when they need something done at Ops, Picard says, Data, can you do something? And then everyone's like, oh, you just said Data, but it's Worf.
Did he do that in when Tasha died?
No.
Oh,
not that I recall.
It would have been awesome if he called Worf Tasha, though.
It would have been great if he did. Yes.
Hey,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah. Lieutenant Yard. And everyone's like, that's awkward. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Worf. You're definitely.
Is Picard not good with names? Because last episode he let broccoli slip out. So
Yeah, I think Picard needs to work on his mental training here on all the names. He just learned Wesley's name 5 minutes ago. So
Sleep.
anyway, I think well, another promotion for me. I get a chair. But Worf's not meant to launch probes. That's not his normal gig.
Klingons love probing. What are you talking about?
Love probing. We are being probed. They launched the probe here at the water, and it seems it's going pretty fast. So I think it's Picard sends Worf and Riker and Dr. Crusher down to the planet to figure out what the hell's going on. Back on Kivas Fajo's ship here with Data. Data found ways to entertain himself here in this room. I will say that. Looking at the Mona Lisa, which apparently Kivas Fajo now owns.
I love this with Data trying to imitate the Mona Lisa's smile. I think this is such a great scene. And this is an episode that I like to put on when I'm falling asleep. So rewatching it, I was actually watching it, so I had forgotten that this scene existed. I think it's such a great little addition to an already terrific episode.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little thing. Spiner gets to do quite a bit of stuff in this episode.
He does.
The character. But just then, Kivas Fajo returns, and he's not happy with the earlier incident. And Data's like, what do you expect me to do? I'm going to try to resist you. He wants him to sit in the chair. Data doesn't want to sit in the chair. So Saul Rubinek, Kivas Fajo, he's got an idea. He starts opening his little safe, and then he's like, oh no, but Data's watching, so I need to hide my PIN code here. And then he pulls out the Veron T disruptor, which we'll learn is a very deadly disruptor.
Well, I think all disruptors are deadly.
Well,
this one is very agonizing. Well-being
disruptor. Well, no, it's a prototype for a Veron T disruptor.
The Veron T disruptor is banned in the Federation.
Oh, yes. They only manufactured 5 of them. I own 4. I sleep with one under my pillow at night, and I sleep very well knowing it's there, too. Do you know why?
It is the most lethal weapon.
It's not just lethal.
Yes.
Tears body apart inside out. It does it very slowly, too, by your phaser standards. It's tortuous, very, very painful death. I've always wanted to try this.
So he's never killed anybody with this specifically before, Anyway, so he's like, brings in Varia. He says, how long have you been with me? I think it's like 17 years. 14. 14. Sorry. Oh, sorry, 14. And she was barely an adult. He says in the dialogue so she was, but technically grown up. Anyway, he's like, you've been great for me. You've always been very loyal, but now I'm going to kill you. And she's like, whoa. And just when he's about to do it, then Data's like, look, I'll sit in your chair. Don't kill anybody. Data versus the worst aspects of mankind / organics. Yeah. So this is how he'll get it. Then we got the whole scene here with Worf, Crusher, and Riker beaming down. Basically, what they figure out here is that the contamination of the water supply seems done artificially, and that it can only be solved, this type of poisoning or contamination, by the substance they bought from Kivas Fajo, who just happened to have enough of it when they ran into him and everything else. And they're kind of putting the pieces together here in this scene, and then it transitions to the boardroom scene up on the ship, where they're kind of filling in Picard on the details and Jody. That, if you wanted to contaminate a water supply, you wouldn't do it this way unless you wanted to sell a very specific cure. Then Picard asks for the biographical details on Kivas Fajo. They find out he's a big collector. They, of rare items, and they go, oh, okay, maybe we've been.
So you did a whole trade with this guy. You didn't check him first?
No background check?
No background check at all. Not even a police check, nothing.
They were just they thought they hit the jackpot because they just happened to find a guy who had what they needed at the right time.
Who was thinking of not having it anymore? We're not going to carry that anymore. It's too dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
Captain, we got scammed. That's right. We got played. And then they're like, yeah, we did. So they said, okay, set course warp for whatever, because they know they're faster than Kivas Fajo's ship. So they're going to see
But
if
they
can
don't
track
go
them.
as fast as they can.
They go warp 9. They go like warp 6.
I don't understand that.
I
You
don't
got to
know.
get there fast. Just go.
Well, then they got
They gotta get permission to go past
They got
No,
the
not
Wes-
yet.
75 or something.
Not yet.
Wesley's working on it here. Wesley's figuring out where they could be. And then they say, well, but the ship only goes warp 3, and they probably would go somewhere they could be found. Probably, like a colony or something
Well, he's
else.
a traitor. He wants to be found.
He wants to be found, as Picard says. Meanwhile, back on the Kivas' ship, Data's trying to break into the safe to get the weapon, but he's not cracking the code. Although I thought, like, Data, if anyone can crack a little safe combination, it's probably him, just by doing as many different possibilities. He's not gonna get tired entering codes. But then Varia shows up. She's says, what if I help you escape? And Data's like, well, then you could get in trouble. It could be bad for you, but let's work together. She knows the code to the safe, and she gets the Veranti disruptor. This Michael says this feels reminiscent of the Voyager episode Think Tank a little bit. Yeah,
Well,
Like, I
I was
guess-
saying before that. But
Think Tank a little bit more of a, like, you don't find out about the dupe until a little bit deeper into that episode. But yeah,
Wasn't that the one Jason Alexander was in?
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
right. And they want to collect 7 of 9 basically, but not as collector in the sense of like the way Kivas does, but like join their little group.
That's what I like
Um,
about Enterprise. Enterprise, whenever somebody was trying to collect something, it was always a slave. Didn't matter. Always a slave.
Well, it was a lot of times it was the Ryans were involved, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was before
At
they
least
had
you know
androids.
what their intentions were.
Anyway, then Picard and the Enterprise looking around here. They get a report that Kivas Fajo ship was at some Federation colony. They're like, yeah, we got, like, they put out an APB basically, and they got a hit where he is. Alpha says Fajo wishes he was at a level of super space conman like in Think Tank. Yeah, he's not quite at that level. I don't think he plays nice with other. I think he's a bit of a dictator. Anyway, so Varia and Data are in the
Big
bay.
Hershey kisses in the background there.
Yeah, some big ones.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yum.
Anyway, so they're like, okay, well, I'm going to start the escape sequence. I don't know what their plan here was. Like, they were going to get in the shuttle and then get away from his ship.
So
But
I have a design problem here.
Mhm.
Look at his collar. One
Mhm.
side of his collar is up higher than the other side. Okay,
It's because it's asymmetrical spacesuits, Jody. That's how you know they're in the
It's-
future.
it sucks, man. Imagine like all day you have something rubbing up higher than you do lower down here. Like that would be bloody irritating.
Yeah, but if you're an android, who cares?
I guess.
He doesn't. Yeah. Anyway,
I thought
Well,
Dave would back me on this one, but I guess he's not.
I don't like. Yeah, it's a bad outfit, but it was, it's meant to be. He didn't pick it. It's been given to him as like
True.
for to live in a zoo or whatever. Anyway, they start preparing here, and then she starts the sequence. But then this guy runs in, one of Fajo's henchmen, who's got like a thing on his face. So she holds the gun up at him. He puts his hands up, but then there's a second henchman who grabs her from behind. And then Data comes out. Man, she should have left her little belt device on. That would have helped her. Anyway, so but
And then Data throws both of the henchmen around. Love it.
Yeah. I love this guy's reaction. He's like, "Oh my god, I hope that doesn't happen to me."
And more asymmetrical outfits. They each have one naked arm and one long sleeve.
Oh, even more irritating.
And they seem to have little I don't know, candies glued to their face for some reason. But
Space face candy.
Like my Minecraft things.
yeah, like they fell asleep on the floor of a kid's room, and a bunch of like Lego pieces just kind of stuck to their face. But Fajo likes his property to be dressed more, even worse than him. Well, he's got style.
He's the one who
He
has a
does.
hat. He's got a hat.
Hired goons never get to the top of the line protection. Haven't you ever read a comic? That's true. So Kivas Fajo then wakes up. He was sleeping, but I guess the alarm is off. He's here. He has one of the other Veranti disruptors.
He's got the one under his pillow.
That's
the
right.
one under his pillow. Varia, I guess in this whole tussle, she dropped hers on the floor here. And so there's a scene where she looks at it and he looks at it. But then so she tries to leap for it. And, you know, I don't know. She tries to then back off. And, you know, it seems like he's not going to kill her for a second. Right. And she's like, okay, thanks. But then he kind of changes his mind.
He gives that psycho look.
Yeah.
Tilts his head.
That's the beauty of the guy who plays him, right? Because like this is his whole character is so unpredictable during the whole episode.
Yeah.
And it just
Dangerous.
comes off as crazy and insane, and you know, he's got this kind of Joker quality to him, you know.
Right. But he feels like not a cartoon. He feels like very grounded.
He feels like he's not intimidating, but yet is completely intimidating. It's really weird. I don't get it.
So he fires the Varanti disruptor that he described in such
which, by the way, is in multicolor. Amazing.
Multicolor beam.
Proud.
And she gets hit. And it's not good. It
doesn't look like it's fun.
No, the actress does a great job with it, like selling this.
Like the scream that she lets out, the prolonged scream, like it's rough. Like she really sells it. You buy that she is in unimaginable pain.
Yeah, and for some reason, after Kivas Fajo shoots her, he drops his weapon.
I think
because he's realized what he's done.
Piece of consciousness in him that he goes, "Oh my god, look what I just did," and you know.
Yeah.
Like this was his companion, realistically. Like this
well, it's kind of like almost like a protege,
man,
right? Yeah.
And also because he immediately shifts to "look what you made me do," Data.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
This final shot was like something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see it in slow motion, it's quite something. Anyway, that's the end of Varia. See you later. And then he was like, "Well, look what you made me do, Data." And the look Brent Spiner wears on his face for these scenes, right? You know, like how
like look at that, like that's just wow.
He's trying to process this, right? You know, and then Data grabs the one either she dropped or he dropped from earlier, and he holds it up to him. I guess his little beam protector doesn't protect him from this, but Alpha says, "I like to interpret it as like an unhinged man, unable to admit the responsibility for his actions." Well, that's true for sure too. You know, and anyway, he's like, "Well, you're not going to hurt me, Data. I'm a living being, you know, and you can't hurt me. Your ethics won't allow it. And I'll just kill somebody else soon. I'll kill this guy." And he's like, "What? I fought for you. I wore candies on my face, but nope."
Fuck is with those weird pockets on Data's pants.
They're jodhpurs. He's going horseback riding.
Yes.
Is he putting the horses in there?
Maybe so.
My
the costume department. Like the costume department is like, what if we put these big pockets on the side? Like, anyway, you know, make it a little.
I just want to know how many cans of like steel-looking spray paint did they have to use in the scene?
Lots.
I'm guessing at least 3.
Right.
There's a lot there.
Anyway, Data is like, you're a dangerous guy, and he's like, "You're not gonna kill me. I'm a living being." And then Data's like, "You need to be stopped." And it was like we were about to get some vigilante justice here for a second, but
I have a license to kill.
I have a license. It looks like it's okay. We'll talk about this in a second here, but whether Data does actually intentionally pull the trigger, but he's beamed away by the Enterprise just at that moment. And Brian showed up for this scene. He pops in here and he's like, "There's a weapon that's been discharged." So anyway, he deactivates it. And then they beam Data in, and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to shoot you, Commander." Oh, good. And then they're saying, "Okay, what's up, Data? How's it going?" He's like, "You need to arrest that Kivas Fajo for murder." And he's like, "Don't worry, we're already arresting him, but not for murder. Like, you don't know about the murder yet." But anyway, he gives the weapon, and Riker goes, "It looks like it was discharging when you beamed over." He's like, "That's weird." Like, and then we know Data doesn't lie either. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, this is the big controversy with this episode. Like, there's like big.
I like to think he
discussions
did.
about
He
it.
pressed the button.
I agree. He 100% did it, in my opinion.
But if he did, he intentionally lied about it.
Great.
But
Okay,
is
but
he
we've seen that Data can lie.
Sure he can. They also say
Cause
Data
and
can't use
effect. He lied all the
contractions,
time.
and they slip up with that.
They do. Well,
Positive actually.
Data tells us he can't lie. We're also told Vulcans can't lie, and they clearly can lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
like hell.
They exaggerate.
So they exaggerate. So maybe it's an exaggeration.
So either
On a mission.
he's
On
an
a mission.
intentional killer, or he accidentally hit the button.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. It's not murder. It truly was self-defense because Fajo never would have given up and he would have continued to kill other people.
Mm-hmm.
So Data defended those people and himself by discharging the weapon,
Right.
in my opinion.
It's funny earlier when Kivas Fajo calls Data a pacifist soldier or something like that. He's like, "What are you, a pacifist?" And then after Data leaves, and then Riker doesn't even know what happened over there. He doesn't even know that woman was killed. He doesn't know any of this. But he's just like, I think Data was lying about that. You know, he looks at O'Brien. O'Brien's like, oh yeah, he was totally lying.
Brian's like, don't ask me. I'm just an enlisted guy.
I'm just here till like
my
1800.
biggest problem is getting Keiko to eat the capers.
Yeah, there's no
Right?
Keiko yet. He hasn't met Keiko.
That's actually true.
This is Bachelor O'Brien.
This is Bachelor O'Brien, where he's the man.
Yeah, I guess.
You needed Julian at this point.
Yeah, he had no Julian either.
That's true. The
Anyway.
Kettles were very, very limited.
We get this final scene here between Data and Kivas in the Enterprise brig.
Okay. What a
I
boring
like this
job
scene.
for that other guy to be doing is sitting in there.
This guy? That's
This guy.
like I would take that job. I'll guard this guy all day.
That guy's got one of the best postings on the Enterprise.
Do I just have to sit here and look at like colored lights? Is that my job? Great.
He's like,
Like-
so there's like
Hey,
18
he's
green ones.
playing-
Is that right?
He's playing like 3D solitaire on the Enterprise computer for sure.
totally is.
You
all
turned
day.
it off just
Sitting
as
in the
Data
dark.
walked in.
With a bad guy. Excellent.
Yeah. He's just
He's
there in
probably
case.
playing Laser Suit Larry or something.
Maybe. Anyway, so then the final
I love
scene
this scene though. I think this scene makes the whole show.
where Data's like, yeah, we took all your stuff away and we're returning it to the rightful owners and your collection's being disbanded and we're gonna, take you around for murder and everything else. Was there anything else in this final scene that you guys thought was important?
Well, basically just the whole you're kind of the caged animal now. How does it feel kind of thing is what Data's really.
does that give you
That your entire collection has been confiscated and you have nothing now.
Oh, but
Is
he
that-
also,
Like the
his
look on
response-
his face as he realizes that.
But his response back was, I collected you before, I'll collect you again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Even considering now he's not in trouble.
does that make you upset? Does that make you hate me? And then Data's answer is
I am only an android.
nope. So again, it's like talking about whether he meant to fire that gun or not. Like I think you can interpret that he didn't.
I
You can
think
take him
somebody
as-
should do a voiceover of this scene and then right at the end just have him go, I'm fully functional. That would have been way funnier.
multiple techniques, but then
Yeah,
he's
multiple
just like,
techniques.
okay, bye, Kivas Fajo, see you never, and then he leaves him.
And we never
Um,
find out what happens to.
I guess he went to prison.
It's deliberately open to interpretation. So Adam and I both think he fired. What do you think, Dave and Jody?
He fired?
He think
Like-
that Data fired the weapon.
Oh,
Did he try to
Fired.
kill Kivas Fajo?
Yes,
yes, I believe he did.
I think so too.
Because I think, and somebody actually mentioned it earlier in the chat, I think it was Alpha, that the biggest problem that we have with this is the fact that yes, he's not supposed to be able to lie, but we also saw his reaction of essentially horror to him, right? Like it was horror to him, like that this is happening. So
And he had
I
nowhere
think-
else to go.
yeah,
I
what else
agree.
was he gonna
Fajo
do?
is meant to be a completely irredeemable, monstrous character,
hmm
Yeah.
but Data said,
I would not participate in a murder.
But at that point, Dave,
It wasn't murder.
he didn't know the Enterprise was on the doorstep. He didn't know they were
he didn't know
there.
that either. That's true.
And
But he was not even just going to shoot him. He was going to shoot him with that crazy gun too, right? That would, so that would have I'm not saying I would have been sad, but I'm just not 100% convinced. I tend to take Data at his word,
But that's the beauty of this episode it's deliberately left ambiguous and for us to speculate about it endlessly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like I could go either way on it, honestly, but I tend to think, well, why, like, then he would lie about it too? Like, if he did do it, I think he would admit to it. So that's
Data can definitely lie. Like, that's been
like when he needs to save a mission or he needs to save something.
So he can kill when he's saving other people.
I guess he was saving that guy in his mind. Like, he's like, maybe I'll kill him next. And he's like, well, don't kill Lego Face. Let's come on, leave him be.
Yeah. What did he do to you other than drop pieces around at night and you step on them?
Right.
That's that. What did he do?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm on the fence with it. I definitely think
I could argue both ways, but I think he.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, tell us what we don't know about this episode. Fun facts us.
Sexy.
With Adam, they're fun facts and they're sexy.
Let's go. Wish you changed that image. Okay.
Oh, I will, but I'll make it sexier.
Let's go. Chest hanging out. That'd be great. Okay. Sorry. All right. Before we get going, let's talk about Saul Rubinek real quick. His parents were actually survivors of the Holocaust. They were hidden by Polish farmers in World War II. His father was a factory worker, a theater company manager, and a Yiddish theater actor, and a Talmudic scholar. So you mentioned Europe. They were heavily into Europe and around during World War II, which is sad to say. Now, what I want to talk about here, the big reveal for me that I did not know about, that he was an emergency replacement for David Rappaport on this episode.
Really? David Rappaport. Who's
David Rappaport? I think of Time Bandits. Remember Time Bandits? Yeah. Terry Gilliam's movie?
No, he probably has never seen it.
Oh my God, such a great movie.
It was mid-'80s.
Mid-'80s. Anyway, David Rappaport played a character called Randall, leading the gang of shrubbery people that worked for God, and they were in charge of making shrubs. Yes. And typical David Gilliam, and they were trying to they stole the map to all these different worlds. It was a great movie. So David Rappaport was the leader of the gang of dwarves, actually, in this movie, little people, and I was thrilled to know that he was going to be this role, because he would have been equally as good. However, he tried to kill himself during the production of this movie, or the show. And he had some problems and such. And then he did commit suicide just before it aired, which is really sad. So David Rappaport, another guy on that in Time Bandits, died before they were able to make a sequel, and Terry Gilliam from Monty Python stopped it at that point.
It says David Rappaport was 3'11".
Yes, 3'11".
He was
okay. Dave, if you haven't seen Time Bandits, you've got to see Time Bandits.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it, but I have seen that encounter at Farpoint where like the little people are jumping all around when Q first comes in and they're like jeering and yelling at Picard. I've seen that compared to Time Bandits before.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Scene. Yeah. Like John Cleese, there's a ton of Monty Python people in it. What's his name? Sean Connery's in it. It's a good movie.
Mm.
Oh, so they filmed a whole bunch of scenes with him as Kivas Fajo.
Yes, it was well into production.
Wow.
So I think there was a comment earlier saying, is there another like a lost tapes of Next Generation?
There is. Yeah, I don't have.
Apparently on the Blu-ray, you can see some of these scenes that he was in.
Wow.
Let me check that out.
I can't imagine anyone other than Saul Rubinek in this role, because he just did such a tremendous job.
Well, I think
Saul Rubinek made the episode to me, but I think that David Rappaport would have been really good as well.
Would have been
just knowing him. Okay, so let's talk about the episode real quick. It featured a shuttle pod named Pike.
Yeah.
Pike. I don't know if you guys saw that at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that actually for the first time as I rewatched it, and I've seen this episode dozens of times, and I just noticed the Pike this rewatch. So that's
they got Bert too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fajo's Lapling was a hand puppet created by Michael Westmore. Producer David Livingston recalled it was this little creature that Saul Rubinek went up and said, beady, beady, beady. That was the call to the creature and became the running gag. People on the set continued to say this long after the episode.
That's cute.
It was a reference, of course, to Twiggy from Buck Rogers. Twiggy, beady, beady, beady. Remember that? You guys don't remember that? Okay.
No.
Man, sometimes I
I
feel
do, but we're the oldest ones here.
Yes.
Adam, so
Dave and I are just little spring chickens.
Yes, that's right.
I think Buck Rogers is probably up there with Babylon 5 as, the reviews. Someday we maybe
Babylon what? I'm not familiar with
exactly.
The greatest, one of the greatest shows ever made. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I should probably check it out, but I won't because only 5 other people have.
Well, the Babylon 5 we're called.
That's why it's called Babylon 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
Five fans.
5
But-
fans.
5 incredibly savvy fans who understand science fiction.
Anyway,
Kivas Fajo makeup was originally more elaborate. The character had a clearly alien appearance with long Vulcan-esque ears and purplish brown skin tone. However, the change was necessitated due to the constraints after the original actor David Rappaport attempted suicide.
Right.
In the background of the room in which Data is held, there's a copy of Salvador's Dali, the Persistence of Memory, is seen on the back wall. We mentioned that. Hold on here. We just copied that. Leworth mentions that he's manned the op station before. There's a direct reference to the season when he acted as relief con and ops officer should Jody or Data be unavailable. I guess it was when he was wearing the red shirt.
Yes, when the show first started.
Yeah. There's a collectible box set from the Star Trek customizable card game, which is aptly called the Fajo Collection.
The Fajo collection, like which game?
Like
the Star Trek collectible card game. It's like like Magic the Gathering, but Star Trek.
I played it.
I collected all the cards, and I didn't have anybody to play with.
I collected it more than I played it, but like it was
nerds. Anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were young enough to have played it.
I had the Star Trek pogs though, so I guess I'm a nerd too.
Okay, I had the original series, with Transporter, where Spock was on the transporter pad and you spun it and he disappeared.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That'd be collectible now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have the next gen one too. I don't have.
I had a tiny Borg cube with a tiny Borg and a tiny Picard, and I still have the cube, but my Nan sucked up Picard and the Borg in the vacuum.
We will never retrieve him back.
No, gone into the vortex. They've been assimilated.
Okay, guys, this turbo left shot was achieved by shooting through the turbo lift with the bridge set in the background, but starting the shot with a false section of the corridor wall blocking the view of the bridge. After the doors closed, the corridor wall was silently removed by stagehands so the bridge could be seen when the doors opened.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Brilliant.
Movie magic.
Indeed.
Among the artifacts shown in Fajo's collection is a communication device used by Sarjenka in Pen Pals. And,
cool.
And a small vase that would have been seen in the crew quarters of Data, Worf, Miles O'Brien, and many others in the series.
Well, and I feel like Kivas Fajo's ship is some ship we've seen like a million times that they just like slightly recolored or something.
Probably, yeah.
Or turned upside down or something.
Turned upside down. They added a green light to it somewhere, or
Yeah.
Sorry. And then the famous artwork featured in the episode is we already mentioned Dali's Persistence of Memory. Picard also finds out he has Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, and he also has, of course, the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an Anubis mask in Kivas Fajo's collection is reused from the Young Sherlock Holmes, which is likewise made for Paramount. Did you see that?
I think so. Yeah. I think I know what you mean.
I don't recall it.
And then finally, Dave, you mentioned you learned what a sconce was tonight. The sconce lights were identical to the lights in Taco Time fast food restaurants in California, and in AMC movie theaters, which I had in my theater in Vaughn. Actually, those
Like
things.
that was like in the late 90s, right?
That was actually late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Well, those sconces, they were popular. They were a real 90s thing.
Okay, one more. I'm going to leave it here because this is a big one. In the scene that was never filmed, Fajo sends Varia to test Data's sexual abilities.
Oh, okay.
And,
He was fully functional.
Fully
and Data discusses
functional.
that his only sexual encounter from the Naked Now happened. However, Data learns of Fajo's intent, leaving Varia utterly humiliated, and which would later fuel her desire to betray Fajo.
Yeah, I don't think we needed that scene.
I think that scene actually would have helped explain why she went as far as she went.
Well, I think it's quite clear why she went as far as she went, because this man was going to kill her right before she decided to help Data, and he'd been lavishly punishing her for 14 years. And he probably kidnapped her in the first place when she was barely legal.
Yeah.
So
You know,
agree,
so I think he has ample motive to go after her.
Possibly on Epstein Island as well. Who knows?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's why I don't think we. Yeah, that's why I don't think we needed that scene. Like, if he doesn't try to kill her, maybe. But like, you know, but anyway, this works better.
A couple other things that are available in the collection. There's a Vulcan lyre there, or I guess that's what you call it, the harp.
Yeah, the Vulcan lyre. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Colonel Niskos, which became a meaningful gift from Picard to Data in The Chase. Korean Niskos? I'm not sure what that is.
All right. Well, is that the end of the facts there, Adam?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Before we move on to ratings, Dave, I just want to address a comment. So this comment was done by Stargazer. You should do a sneak in on a Firefly review one of these days. I would like to do that. There's only 14 episodes.
14. I was about to ask how many episodes it is.
Yeah, 14 episodes, and then you have a movie as well.
I've never watched it.
You've never watched Firefly?
No,
I've watched.
Probably should do this.
I've only watched a couple episodes with Jane. She's a big fan of it.
It's very good.
Yeah,
Cowboys in
That's
space.
what I
basically.
hear.
a lot of those actors went on to be, you know, big stars and other things.
Everybody
too.
in there, yeah.
I was like, Marina Baccarat's in this show. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it was kind of it was interesting. I you know I wouldn't when we were watching it, because I would only watch Firefly if she would watch a Babylon 5 episode. So
that's not fair to her at all.
That's cruelty, Dave. That's grounds for divorce.
I'm surprised she didn't.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
We watched the Babylon 5 episode. Then we watched the Firefly, and she was expecting Firefly to be closer to like modern TV, but it was way closer to the 90s style TV.
Oh, it totally is. I don't think they were trying to hide that.
Yeah, so it's good, but it's not. It's not like
we
it.
should do it. We should do it.
It wasn't like I was watching like The Expanse or something, or you know.
Can I just jump in one more thing? We talked about transporters being major causes of death. Let's talk about
very deadly. Yes,
shuttlecraft crashes are up there. Holodeck malfunctions, which we mentioned, less deadly,
but they happen more often. But I don't feel like they kill people as often.
Yep. Red shirt combat deaths. Earlier, and then for probably just a amount of kills at once, warp core breaches.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
What about coolant leaks?
What about Cisco?
Cisco
killed a lot of people.
Cisco has killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well,
the most dangerous technology is Cisco.
you gotta crack a few eggs. You want to make an omelet? You know, that's how Cisco thinks. You know, with the paprikash.
Anyway, stay tuned. I think we will do a Firefly watch. I think there's.
I'm down. I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's.
You know what I think. I'm going to save that one.
Okay, you hold on to that. Anyway, let's get into our ratings, everyone, and put a score on this episode. Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, me. It's a 10 for me. I love this episode. It's an 11.
It's an 11. She's going 11.
Yes.
Hey, this one goes to 11.
Okay,
definitely
this whole
in
11 shit needs to stop. All
Get
right?
out of here, Jody. You're not the
10 or
boss
it's
to me.
not a
You're
10.
not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do. I can give it an 11 if I want.
You tell him. All right. And with that, Adam, you're up.
8.
An 8. Okay, that's a very respectable score.
Make your
11.
face. You gave 11. You know, it didn't deserve an 11. I'll tell you why. There was not enough reaction on that Enterprise crew other than Jody tossing and turning in his sleep and kicking.
Barely anybody gave a shit.
Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
I will concede that to you, but you know what? I don't give a shit that nobody gave a shit.
Hey,
It's not
what are you gonna
important to me.
Yeah. They were
There's
still
that
dealing
test.
with their trauma. Jody, where are you at?
Heather, I have a response.
All right.
You
Well,
can't
give
give
me a
11s.
second. It's my time now.
Allow it. I will allow it.
You'll allow it because he runs the spread.
Don't let them scare you off of your 11.
You think
I'm not
scaring
afraid
her?
of them.
You think we're scaring her? No way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm probably with Adam. I think it's an 8. It's a very solid episode. It's a lot of fun to watch. I don't skip it, and it's just some of the acting is fantastic in it.
Yeah. I like this episode a lot. I think that Rubinek really elevates it a lot. I agree that the B plot is with Jordy and Wesley and all that's not as satisfying on this rewatch for me, but it's not that big of a deduction. So I'm going 9. I think it's really good.
See, for me, I judge everything based on the standard of what a 10 episode is. A 10 episode to me is cause and effect. Anything that's like that is a great episode.
Why is that one so high?
I don't know. I just
Because it's awesome. I agree.
What it's an awesome episode. Everybody gets a little bit of screen time, and it's a collective episode where everybody has to work together. It's not like 8 different plots going on, which not that this one was, but it's. I just think that's my threshold for what a perfect episode is.
I'm just going through what if you've given any 10s out yet? No,
I don't believe I have.
Not to date. Now, we know when we get to cause and effect, you'll give a 10, but you've given
cause and effect is a 10.
9.5 to Q Who, and you gave a 9 to Measure of a Man, and a 9.
Q Who was an almost perfect episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you gave a 9.5 to the Defector, so you have a certain style. So for sure.
I don't use 11s because that's bullshit. But
it's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, here and so we're averaging a 9 out of 10. Thanks to Heather's.
We
11.
really aren't. But
and that this has a 7.6 on IMDb.
7.6. It's that low, eh? Wow.
7.6 is what it's. Oh my god, that's disgusting. What's wrong with people?
Yeah, if only they had a 0 to 11 scale. I think.
But Sins of the Father is not too many of these TNG episodes go above 9, unless they're like Q Who or something. But anyway, so we're averaging 9, the 7.6 on IMDb, 8.3 is the combined. But I think a very good episode.
I officially say I'm out until at least Best of Both Worlds Part 1. Because
you're not on the panel for these next ones.
No.
Well,
Sarek is not a good episode. I don't know why everybody loves it.
Speaking of which, looking ahead to our next episode, it's Sarek.
I love the costumes alone make me love this episode. Look at those statement necklaces and all that shit she has on her head. Incredible. Love it.
Stay tuned next week for when Heather gives out a 12. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And Jody, you're going to get a 2 in a minute.
I might have it too.
In Sarek, who of course is the father of Spock, he comes aboard the Enterprise for what might be his final diplomatic mission as Bandai syndrome begins to affect the crew through telepathic projection. Picard must take an extraordinary sacrifice to help the ambassador complete his duty. We got a 10 from the comments. So
Stargazer says a 10, my guilty pleasure episode. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure. Don't let Jody and his yip yaps make you feel guilty for giving it a 10.
I'm not
it's
making anybody feel guilty.
That's right.
You like an episode, it's great. You just should probably stick to a scale that makes sense. But anyway,
Jody and his yip yaps. That's my new
my yip
Am I a yip yap, Heather?
Everybody will be like, yip, 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 yip.
Where's Jody with his yip yaps? Okay, let's go.
With all that
Jody
yip yaps?
and his yip yaps.
Speaking of which, looking ahead, we'll be covering later on this channel on Thursday night. We are covering the newest episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
Sit in the fucking chair correctly.
No, she sits like Kivas Fajo, and she likes it. And we're covering that Thursday night, although Jody and I are curling again on Thursday, so I gotta figure
fine.
something
I
out.
rather curl.
I know.
I'm so done with this fucking series.
Yes. Also, on our other channel, Super Mater Brothers podcast, we're covering Survivor season 50 right now on Wednesday nights. Next episode is called Therapy Carousel. We will be on Thursday.
I'd enjoy that more than Starfleet Academy.
You probably would. I could see that. And what else, guys? Oh, For All Mankind will be coming back later this month for season 5. Get ready for that too. So we'll be
that should be fun.
Schedule. Yeah.
Do we know if it's the final season or not?
They haven't said, so I think they're going to see how this one does, and my guess is they'll but they must have like an ending.
Kinnaman can't be living past this season, like this next season.
In real life, yes, but in the show, no, probably.
Well, the dude itself is like, he's now like 800 in the show. Like, it's incredible.
But in real life, he's younger than me, I believe. Or maybe slightly older. Anyway,
he's a little bit older.
Yeah. Anyway, that's this one tonight, guys. This has been fun. Thanks for being with us.
Really fun
from the cab to here.
Behold. Oops. Knocked myself over. Behold nothing. I knocked it over. Stand by. Checks up. Oh.
Nice. Beautiful. Yes. Is that from your mother?
Pardon?
Is that from your mother?
Yeah, it's my mom's from the 1981 Lassie.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. That's
which is
cool.
what the Scotties was called before it was called the Scotties. So she represented Newfoundland and Labrador in 1979, 81, 85, and 86.
Wow.
It was there was the Lassie, and then I guess it was the Scott Tournament of Hearts for
the Scott Tournament of Hearts, yeah.
And now the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's my sweat.
Polka dots. Excellent. Oh, did your brother win tonight? I was going to ask.
Sure did. It was Newfoundland and Labrador versus Newfoundland and Labrador, and Team Nathan Young really gave us a run for our money in the first 4 ends, and then the gap started widening a little bit. But it was very exciting to be in that building tonight. Like, the crowd was electric. 2 Newfoundland and Labrador teams playing each other. I think that's a first at the Briar. And after the game, they all, both teams stood on the ice, and they stood like one by one and took a photo of all of them together. And it was beautiful. I got teary-eyed. It was absolutely magical to be in that building tonight. It was wonderful. I love curling.
This is Brad's last year, right?
That's correct. He's retiring at the end of this season. So it's been very emotional. A lot of lasts happening, and it's so nice to be here with my family and watching all the games, and it's great. I can't say enough good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for letting me drop in late on this episode and from the road, because as I said, this is one of my all-time favorites, and I always enjoy talking about these episodes with you because it brings me new perspectives. And from my perspective is that Jody is wrong about me giving it an 11.
That's mostly, what I took away from this too. But thank you so much.
Just for the record, I'm going to support Jody here. You can't give 11.
Listen, Yip Yap, zip it up.
Yip Yaps from Jody and Adam. So we got to tell them to stop with that.
1 to 10. There's no 11.
These go to 11. These ones go to 11, as they say. All right. Well, thanks to the whole crew. Thanks so much, Heather, for making this part of your night tonight on such a big night for your family and for Newfoundland and Labrador, for that matter. All right. We'll leave you with this Kivas Fajo quote for the evening, and we'll see you next time here on Live Long and Podcast. Thanks to the whole panel.
I know. What I've done is evil, selfish, immoral, unprincipled, illegal. Well, I've learned to live with it.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.